and look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? In reply, how you put up with this song and dance, soulless buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. What the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Coming back up on a backboard.
All right, Coach. EA Sports between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, and they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And at a 42-yard line here and brought down there. The numbers for him from a week ago: 24 carries, 105 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get to play action and throw the ball deep later on.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Back to throw. Nolan, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
This is where his eyes told him everything he needed to know. As a linebacker, when you're sitting at the second level and you can see everything in front of you, that play just developed right in front of him, and he got there in a hurry and made a really nice play.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Looking to throw. Nolan. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10. And in this case, they did it really successfully. Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
Hurry up, here we go.
Foster on second down. Evades the tackler, and now some space. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 64 yards on the ground. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. To throw on second down, Jensen. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Butker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Now they try the right side here. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
So disappointing there for a defensive unit. You hold them to a 4th down in their own territory, you figure you've gotten yourselves off the field, and all of a sudden, here's the offense staying out to go for it. And they wind up getting a first down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Off the play fake. Nolan dancing to his left. And he finds a man with a crossing route. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Back to throw. Nolan. And this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw again. Nolan. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. On 3rd down. That's Day. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Nolan, incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Nolan. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but
3rd
all
down.
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Nolan. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hole.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Jensen throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun, Jensen. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They go play action here on 1st down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll hand off to Foster, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 3rd down, Foster. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The 20! And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Off play action. Nolan steps away. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Watching that, Marty. Detroit!
Back to throw. Nolan. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week. Another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but Sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
A first down carry for Foster. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a touchdown apiece. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Gun, gun.
On 3rd down. That's Day. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll run it here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Nolan. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Leopard!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Nolan. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it down to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! No, Jack, Patriot! Patriot!
On 3rd down, it's Day, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Detroit!
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still 1st down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's going to be caught. A good pickup there, a 22.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it.
Holding. Offense.
So he was holding from that
Still
left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules. where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Off the play fake. Nolan. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
That was a statement stop right there. Now it forces the opposing head coach to answer this question. What do you do on 4th down?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it. Because nowadays, you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards, probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Again, this is Foster. And he's got this down to the 35. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
On 1st down, Jensen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
Off play action. Jensen. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And now we're all even. Brand new ball game, tie game.
In a sense, you're starting over. Tie ball game, everyone's back to even, back to equal. A good job getting back in it.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Looking to throw. Nolan. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff working right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Back to throw. Nolan. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns have moved out in front. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact side.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Green, 39! Green!
Off the play fake. Jensen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw on second down. Jensen throwing the out route incomplete. That's Foster. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. Looking to throw on second down. Nolan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
Looking to throw. Nolan. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So they'll come up after.
Hurry up, here we go.
Off play action. Nolan. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
On the counter, it's Foster. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They keep it in the hands of Foster. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney! All right, here we go. Green, 39! Green!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And Butker able to put this one through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
And the Browns getting set to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. To throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. The Browns on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing that.
Absolutely. Oh, wow, I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll go again with Foster. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. After the run, here's 2nd and 8 from the 27. And they'll run it here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance. You got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. first throw here in overtime. And it is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they've converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
To throw on 2nd down. Jensen. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins.